Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark,
Well, I'm Rob.
and today we're going to talk about the Indiana Fever's resounding victory over the Seattle Storm, 92-75. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit that notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next videos, especially if you're under the age of 45. We're trying to increase that demographic there. Big win, 2 in a row since they've come back, and they've won 4 of the last 5. Rob, this seems like a dangerous team right now for the playoffs.
Yeah, they're playing very well, and getting to the point where they might not be the team you want to face in the playoffs, since there's only 3 games in the first round. So
no, Temi comes back and Hall continues to hit 3-pointers. They'll be a very, very dangerous team. And yeah, it's 3 games. Anything can happen in a 3-game series. The better team doesn't always win a 3-game series, unlike a best of 7 or
the only thing that's going to hurt them still is though they played good defense yesterday, is still that defense. It's still the defense. That's their weakness.
Well, the only thing they're good at is running. But when they do run, they're unstoppable when they're hitting their threes. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that Caitlin Clark draws so much attention and is such a great passer that one of the reasons that Kelsey Mitchell and Hall started hitting threes yesterday was because they had wide open threes. Those are practice shots, and they need to hit them. And if this continues, this is deadly. Clark's getting double teamed, and she still finds a person open.
Yeah, still double teamed for a so-so player.
Right. So she did get the assist record yesterday, although ESPN and WNBA didn't agree on the assist record. I think WNBA had it 224 and ESPN had it for 223 to break the rookie assist record.
Right.
Tico Banachira? Is that her name?
Tico Banachira. You said it right.
Yep, Tico Banachira, who was very nice to Caitlin Clark. She was very positive about it and gave a nice compliment and said, I couldn't imagine anyone else better breaking my record.
They were trying to get her to come to the game, but she had a commitment. But she said she did watch the game.
Right. So there's a few things to go over. First, Caitlin Clark got her 5th technical, which if you get 7, you get suspended. All right, this is their 28th game, so they got 12 games left. That's not good. I didn't think it was a technical. She slammed the stanchion after she missed a shot. The Fever had the ball, so she wasn't slowing up play because she immediately walked over to receive the ball. It didn't do it. There was no players around. There was no ref around, and the ref called it and said it was disrespectful to the game. Now, in my watching basketball over 55 years in the NBA, I haven't watched a lot of WNBA. I've never seen that called a technical in a situation like that. What about you?
I wouldn't have called that. Well, I guess she beat up on that poor basketball stand, and that's part of it. So, that defenseless inanimate object, didn't have a chance. So got to tee her up.
I think they're going to appeal that, the Fever, and hopefully it'll be rescinded. Because I didn't agree with the last one. You were kind of 50-50 on it when her arm got hooked and she filleted her arm up. I just think she was just trying to get loose. It was unintentional, so I don't think that should be a technical. And the third one should have been rescinded too if they'd seen a camera angle from the fans, which is when Vivian and her were going jaw to jaw. What happened was Clark hit a 3 and then turned, and Vivian didn't go up court as fast as Clark thought she was, and she bumped Vivian, not seeing her because her face wasn't turned toward her when she started to turn. And Vivian took offense to it, thought she ran into her on purpose, and it almost like hit her in the neck, and that's why she went jaw to jaw. How is that a technical if you see the whole play? Right. And I don't know why, or maybe the Fever never saw that highlight because it wasn't from the network; it was from a fan. Mm-hmm. And if so, they should have appealed it and it should have been rescinded. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. And the second technical she got was one that they never showed the replay on what she did with the ref. So I don't know how bad it was. The first one she deserved. She said that's an effing foul.
Yeah.
But this last one, I'm not even convinced the other 4 are.
Yeah, the last one though. This last one was like, what? I mean, everybody's like, what? I've gotten technicals like that, Mark, where people are like going, "What did you say?" I go, I just said that was a Pac-10 call. and I
No,
got
I mean,
teed up.
I don't know which refs were favorable toward Jewel. I wasn't paying that attention, but she got 3 calls that I thought were possibly not fouls. She drove into Boston. It was a foul called. And she kind of did the same thing with Clark. And there was a third time she got a foul call where it looked like she was the aggressor in terms of the drive to the basket. And they just liked Jewel Lloyd for some reason. She got 3 foul calls that I didn't see. They didn't show replay on any of them, which was very frustrating, especially since it was ABC and I was complaining about Ion not showing the replays and not having good camera angles. ABC didn't show a replay on any of them.
Wow.
And they were iffy. All 3 were iffy. Not didn't make any difference. They won, but I just don't like seeing, just a star player getting calls for no reason.
Well, there goes your theory on the ref that you had the other day, Mark. They were getting better.
Well, they were better. Well, I didn't think the game was poorly reffed, but those 3 calls were questionable. The first half was ugly. For some reason, I don't know whose idea it was to slow the game down. I don't think it was Caitlin Clark's. But for some reason, they were throwing it into the post, and I couldn't figure out why, Rob. And then they sped it up in the second half.
Oh, so Sides did the opposite. Usually she does that the second half, not the first half. So I guess she switched.
It's a silly idea to do that when you have a player who's 6'4" with long arms that averages 2.4 blocks, which is second in the league. It's Isa Megberger to go into the post a lot. It's just silly. You do that when they have no shot blocker, when they have no rim protector.
Right. You bring her out. I mean, you bring her out for the pick and roll. I don't know if they were doing that yesterday. Coming out, bring Boston out for a high pick and roll to get her out of that middle.
Well, she blocked 5 blocks. So I don't know what to say.
Not in my house, she said. Not in my house. Lloyd didn't really go off like she usually does against the Fever.
No, Lexi Hall played really good defense against her. Sometimes she stops the person and sometimes she doesn't, but she always hustles on defense. Lloyd was 9 for 22 and she scored 26 points, but she had 6 for 7 at the free throw line, but only 2 for 6 from threes. Mm-hmm. But I think, like I said, she got benefit of call, so I think her stats would be a little bit worse if she didn't. But at least she didn't shoot a really high percentage like she normally does against them. So at the end of the game, it's a minute and 17 left. And the Seattle Storm's head coach, Noel Quinn, called a timeout. And she pulled her starters. And I think Sides didn't notice whether she pulled her starters or not. So she put her starters back out there, which she should have pulled, but she didn't. And then when she noticed she pulled her starters, she called a timeout herself and then pulled her starters. So no harm done. No foul. No harm, no foul, right? At the end of the game.
With the Fever giving up leads, I don't know if I would pull my starters at all the way they put them.
Well, you can pull them. You can always put them back in if something crazy happens. But still, up by 18 with a minute 17.
Yeah.
Give your bench some playing time and give them a chance to hold on to an 18-point lead. If something goes crazy in the first 20 seconds, you can always put your starters back in.
Right.
But I would pull them. And then, so Noel Quinn at the end of the game puts her finger in the face of Christy Sides, and I think complains about her not pulling her starters at a minute 17. And they got into an argument. And then Skylar Diggins-Smith also was like saying something too. Well, like she should have got teed up for that. And she should have got teed up when Clark was waving the crowd, like after a 3-point shot, and she bumped into Clark. No tee that time either. Skylar Diggins-Smith should have got thrown out of the game as far as she should have had 2 technicals.
I saw the replay and I kind of laughed because I know that's why I said I coached women's basketball, and that was a typical women's basketball or women's response to what Clark was doing, even though she wasn't doing it like she said. No, she said that she was kind of showing up in front of the bench, but she just walked by and gave her the. I'm like, give her the business. I'm like, wait a minute, what's up with that?
They're at home. She's allowed to put her hands up and get the crowd going. Skylar Diggins-Smith was just frustrated because she was 6 for 17 and 1 for 5 at threes, and she couldn't stop Caitlin Clark.
Well, it seems like the Storm team was a bunch of sore losers between the coach and players. We're supposed to win. Well, you didn't win.
Right. That's the thing. They just assumed they were going to win because they destroyed them 2 times this year. Mm-hmm. They beat them 3 times. The other game was a 2-point game. But I thought the coach and Diggins-Smith was out of line, and I never had any against before that, they always seemed to be, fairly likable. The coaches seemed very likable before that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was complimentary about Caitlin Clark in an after-game press conference. But I don't know what to say. I didn't think that was a big enough deal to make a big deal about it, considering that soon as she noticed, she pulled the starters out.
Yeah, I mean, there's that again, that unwritten rule, law, whatever. It's kind of, it's not even in a rule in the rule book. But yeah, I definitely would take my players out too. But I think Sy just, she's kind of forgotten. Then she did it. So what was a big deal to get angry about that? She probably was frustrated about the game losing too, the coach. So,
I mean, Clark had 9 assists, but she could have easily had 15. The amount of layups and easy post baskets they should have had that they didn't convert on was unbelievable, especially in the first half. And Melissa Smith has got to stop missing layups and learn to be able to shoot with both hands and be able to do layups from both sides. She can't. And that's the thing, Rob. They keep telling us how these are the best players in the world. And I'm flabbergasted because if you think about it, if they're the best players, there's only 12 teams. So if you think of power forwards and centers, that's only 24 players, 36 if you include the small forwards, that should have post moves underneath the basket. Because they don't have to be good at threes, the power forwards and the centers, if they don't need to be. So what do they have to work on in their game? Post moves and making layups. And we're talking about 24 to 36 players, supposedly the best in the world, and they can't do that. That just shows me there's a low skill level for what it should be. There's no reason they shouldn't be better at those type of things, Rob.
I mean, free throw and layups are the easiest parts of the game. You even have, before the game, you do a layup line, where they miss layups during the layup line when they warm up. But during the game, they can't make a simple 2-foot shot layup off the backboard. And they've been playing basketball for at least over 10 years, and you can't make a layup.
The number of players on this team that can't make basic layups or not make layups with both hands or to both sides of the basket I'm flabbergasted by that. That's something that's easy to fix. If you can make a 3-point shot, you can do layups with both your hands from both sides.
Well, we fixed that. We fixed that in practice. We make them run a lap every time they miss a layup.
But you're right about their half-court offense. It sucks. They have no movement, and that showed in the first half. Oh, by the way, so Clark took 3 2-point shots. One was actually a long 2, and made 2 of them, and took 1 floater and made the floater, and it looks good for him and everything. Nice. So Clark's really developing her game.
Good.
That's what Rob's been asking for.
That's what I've been asking for. Keep it going. She can do it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what's scary. If she starts mastering all those shots, those 2-point shots, she's going to be unstoppable.
Right. And Mitchell missed some layups in the first half, too. One good thing that Sides did is that she didn't put Wheeler in the second half. I don't think I saw her in the second. If I did, it was just a few minutes. Uh-huh. I think she might have put her in for a few minutes, but she only ended up playing 9 minutes. So I think she did play for a couple minutes. Oh yeah, she did. She was on the same. I'm sorry, I'll take that back. She did play a few minutes in the second half, but she just kind of got out of the way and let Clark run the offense. She didn't. They didn't have it where Wheeler was the point guard and Clark stood in the corner like they did in the first half of the season.
Well, that's good. Samuelson scored no points.
Yeah, she was ineffective. She did get 6 rebounds, but she was 0 for 4 and 0 for 2 for 3s. Obviously, Hall was the star of the game. Yep. She was 8 for 10, 6 for 7 for 3s, played great defense. Even though she didn't get any steals, she actually, harassed Lloyd, and she had 22 points, and she was on fire. Rebecca Lobo said that Boston was the second best passer on Indiana Fever, and I'm going to agree with that because Wheeler's a very average passer, and Boston's a very good passer, and she had 8 assists, which I understand is a career high for her. And she made a lot of great passes, and she had 15 rebounds, 4 for 9, and only 9 points, but she actually played a good game.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I guess it's rubbing off that the passing game, at least to Boston. Now we can just get Mitchell to get into the groove too.
Mitchell did have 3 assists, 3 steals, and a block yesterday. So she played better defense than she normally does. And she was 10 for 19, 5 for 8 for 3s, and 27 points. And, when she's on, the Fever are unstoppable because Clark can get her open 3s. and that makes it very dangerous. They have to learn to win with it when she's not hot, and if they do that, they're going to be very, very dangerous team.
So what's up with Smith? Smith didn't look like she played that well.
Smith was 0 for 4, 3 points, did get 7 rebounds, and was taken out for Dantas, who actually had a good game. She had 8 points and 5 rebounds, but hit a big 3 and was 3 for 8. But she can't set a screen. She doesn't. She's almost like she's hesitant to set a screen, like she's afraid she's going to get hurt. So she needs to set a. She just needs to learn to set a screen.
Okay.
Wallace only played 1 minute. I don't know. It's flabbergasted to me. You would start a person most of the year and then give her no minutes. Her play didn't go down that bad. It just shows you how wrong it was for her to be starting Wallace. I think if they're going to run, they need her depth. They need her to get some playing time.
Mm.
But that makes too much sense. I'm too logical. I don't know what the
problem is. We don't do that on our show. That's right.
All I can say is Clark's IQ, basketball IQ, is just getting higher and higher, and she's got the highest IQ in the league. It's unbelievable how she can read the whole defense and the whole court at one time, Rob.
Right. Like when I was watching the game the other day, the pregame was showing how they do the graphic, whatever. They said when she got the rebound, they stopped it and they said, look at her vision. Her vision up the court is just, it's phenomenal. She gets the ball and looks up court, and she can make that pinpoint pass.
She made 2 great length of court passes, one to Hall and one to Mitchell. And they were perfect passes. It was unbelievable. So all you haters out there, you're not watching the games because she's the best passer in WNBA history, and there's probably only 10 players in NBA history are better than her.
And that makes the team better. That's why she's in the running for, the Rookie of the Year is no contest, but I mean she's now in the running for MVP, I believe.
She is an MVP candidate. The problem is, they have a below 500 record right now, and there's no way she's going to get MVP.
No,
we know A'ja Wilson's going to get MVP. Even if she doesn't deserve it, she'll get it because they've already anointed her the MVP. Like a third of the way through the season, they said A'ja Wilson's going to get MVP, and nobody seems to be stopping. But she's playing great. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it. Don't take that the wrong way. Right. But it doesn't seem anyone has a chance, even if she gets in a slump and someone else plays great.
Right.
They've already anointed it to her because they keep telling us how she's by far the best player. She's not by far the best player. She's just the best player.
Right.
She's not that much better than Breanna Stewart. Clark was 9 for 19, 3 for 10 for threes, 2 for 2 at 3-throw line, and 5 rebounds, 9 assists. Should have had around 15. A steal, 2 blocks, 5 turnovers, and 3
turnovers. She's got 5 turnovers, Mark. Oh.
Yeah, you know what? She should have had 15 assists. So she had a nice she would have had a 3-to-1 ratio, which was fine. But she didn't.
But the turnovers.
Well, bench her, Rob. What can I say?
That's all they got. It's like that's all you got.
No, she can't play defense, but she got a steal and 2 blocks.
Yeah. She had more blocks than the Reese did. So.
Yeah, 2 more. That's 2 more blocks than Angel Reese had in her game yesterday. It's nice if we get Temi back because Dantes is too slow, and if they're going to run, she's too slow. But she has a nice touch on her shot. Hall hitting threes is huge for this team, and if Samuelson can start hitting threes again, and Mitchell continues to, like I said, I don't want to play this team in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see what happens. But they're a dangerous team. Caitlin Clark is getting smarter and figuring out things more every game. And
they're throwing things at her, and she's got it figured out. Okay, you're gonna double team me. Okay, I'll pass it. She's getting it, like I said, compared to the beginning of the year, she's getting rid of the ball a lot quicker. And that force. Once you get that double team, that means somebody's going to be open because there's 2 people. So the person who's double teaming, they should be open.
The Rookie of the Year thing is over with. Stop it. Even though Angel Reese did have a big game last night, I will say that. She had 20 rebounds and she actually shot well for her.
Yeah,
we'll cover that in another video. But
who cares about her? Whoop you damn do about her doubles.
I mean, Clark was 1 assist away from getting a harder double-double. So a double-double for assists and points that we pointed out before, people put in the comments before, but just to repeat it again, they're 7 to 9 times harder, depending on what you're talking about for this year or for the WNBA history in terms of how many double doubles with points and rebounds as opposed to points and assists. So
Right.
they're a lot easier to get, those double doubles. More
Right.
impressive is just, Angel Reese gets a lot of rebounds. Okay. It's easy to get 10 points when you take 14 shots or 16 shots or 13 shots. So we'll see how good the Fever is because they have a tough game next Saturday at Minnesota. We'll go live for that. It's at 8 o'clock. And please join us. And our normal live show is every Monday from 6 to 8 Eastern. And you can call in if you want. And that's tonight, just as a reminder. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Again, it's still free. Hit that notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video. And if you like this video, hit the like button and feel free to make a comment down below about what you thought about the game. So if you want to donate to this channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below, and there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.